50 Facts About Fishing in the Atlantic Ocean. Size and location. The Atlantic Ocean is the second largest ocean in the world, covering approximately 41 million square miles. Temperature variation. The Atlantic Ocean has both warm and cold currents, influencing the temperature of its waters and the types of fish found. Gulf Stream. The Gulf Stream, a warm ocean current, flows from the Gulf of Mexico into the Atlantic Ocean, affecting the climate and providing a habitat for various fish species. Rich biodiversity. The Atlantic Ocean is home to a diverse range of fish species, including tuna, marlin, swordfish, cod, haddock, mackerel, and many others. Deep-sea fishing. The Atlantic Ocean contains numerous deep-sea fishing grounds, attracting commercial and recreational fishermen seeking prized species like tuna and swordfish. Commercial importance. The Atlantic Ocean is a vital source of commercial fishing, providing a significant portion of the world's seafood. Overfishing concerns. Some areas of the Atlantic Ocean have faced challenges related to overfishing, prompting efforts to establish sustainable fishing practices. Fishing regulations. Various organizations, such as the International Commission for the Conservation of Atlantic Tunas, ICAT, work to regulate and manage fishing activities in the Atlantic. Fishing seasons. Different fish species in the Atlantic Ocean have distinct seasons for optimal fishing, influenced by migration patterns and environmental factors. Recreational fishing. The Atlantic Ocean attracts anglers from around the world for recreational fishing, with popular spots including the Gulf of Mexico, the Florida Keys, and the Outer Banks. Game fish. The Atlantic is known for its game fish, such as blue marlin, white marlin, sailfish, and mahi-mahi, which attract sport fishermen seeking thrilling battles. Commercial fish stocks. Important commercial fish stocks in the Atlantic include Atlantic mackerel, Atlantic herring, and various species of cod and haddock. Lobster fisheries. The Atlantic Ocean is home to significant lobster fisheries, with the American lobster being a notable species. Coral reefs. Coral reefs are found in the Atlantic Ocean, supporting diverse marine life, including fish species that are important for both commercial and recreational fishing. Deep-sea trawling. Some regions of the Atlantic Ocean are subject to deep-sea trawling, a controversial fishing method that can have negative impacts on the seafloor ecosystem. Fish migration. Many fish species in the Atlantic Ocean undertake extensive migrations, traveling thousands of miles between feeding and spawning grounds. Historical significance. Fishing in the Atlantic Ocean has played a crucial role in the history and development of coastal communities, shaping their economies and cultures. Traditional fishing methods. While modern technology is prevalent, traditional fishing methods such as long lining, gill netting, and hand lining are still used in some regions. Cod Wars. The Cod Wars were a series of disputes in the 20th century between the United Kingdom and Iceland over fishing rights in the North Atlantic. Technological advances. Advancements in technology, such as GPS navigation and fish finders, have significantly impacted the efficiency and sustainability of Atlantic Ocean fishing. Whaling history. The Atlantic Ocean was historically a significant area for whaling activities, particularly in the 19th and early 20th centuries. Challenges of deep-sea fishing. Deep-sea fishing in the Atlantic Ocean presents challenges, including extreme depths, pressure, and the need for specialized equipment. Marine protected areas. Efforts to conserve marine ecosystems have led to the establishment of marine protected areas in the Atlantic, safeguarding critical habitats. Shark species. The Atlantic Ocean is home to various shark species, including the great white shark, tiger shark, and hammerhead shark. Billfish conservation. Conservation efforts focus on protecting billfish species, such as marlin and sailfish, which are popular targets for sport fishing. Economic impact. The fishing industry in the Atlantic Ocean contributes significantly to the economies of coastal nations, providing employment and income. Rising sea temperatures. Climate change is impacting sea temperatures in the Atlantic, potentially influencing the distribution and behavior of fish species. Tuna fisheries. The Atlantic hosts important tuna fisheries, with species like bluefin tuna being highly sought after for their meat. Aquaculture. Alongside wild-caught fish, aquaculture, fish farming, plays a role in meeting the demand for seafood in Atlantic coastal regions. International collaboration. Cooperation among countries is essential for the sustainable management of shared fish stocks in the Atlantic Ocean. Cetacean diversity. Besides fish, the Atlantic Ocean supports a rich diversity of cetaceans, including whales, dolphins, and porpoises. Fishery management plans. Various nations have implemented fishery management plans to regulate and control the exploitation of fish stocks in the Atlantic. Lobster migration. Lobsters in the Atlantic Ocean migrate to deeper waters during the winter and return to shallower areas in the warmer months. Seamounts. Seamounts, underwater mountains, are scattered throughout the Atlantic, providing unique habitats for fish and other marine life. Shrimp fisheries. Shrimp fisheries are prevalent in the Atlantic, with various species of shrimp being commercially important. Storm impacts. Atlantic hurricanes and storms can disrupt fishing activities and pose risks to the safety of fishermen. Fishing gear innovation. Ongoing research and development contribute to the improvement of fishing gear, with an emphasis on reducing bycatch and environmental impact. Eel migration. Eels in the Atlantic undertake extensive migrations, traveling from freshwater habitats to the Sargasso Sea for spawning. Sustainable seafood certification. Some Atlantic fisheries have achieved certification from organizations like the Marine Stewardship Council (MSC) for meeting sustainability standards. Deep-sea corals. The Atlantic Ocean is home to deep-sea coral ecosystems, which are vulnerable to the impacts of bottom trawling and other destructive fishing practices. Migratory bird interaction. Fishing activities in the Atlantic can have interactions with migratory birds, such as gulls and terns, which may be attracted to fishing vessels. Fishing gear regulations. Regulations exist to manage and mitigate the environmental impacts of fishing gear, such as the use of turtle excluder devices (TEDs) to protect sea turtles. Swordfish migration. Swordfish in the Atlantic undergo long-distance migrations, with some individuals traveling between the Mediterranean and the Sargasso Sea. International fishing agreements. Bilateral and multilateral agreements are established to regulate fishing activities across international waters and prevent overexploitation. Fish stock assessment. Regular assessments are conducted to estimate the abundance and health of fish stocks in the Atlantic, guiding sustainable management practices. Bottom trawling impact. Bottom trawling, a method of fishing that involves dragging nets along the seafloor, can have significant impacts on benthic habitats in the Atlantic. Redfish fisheries. Atlantic redfish, also known as ocean perch, are commercially important and are managed to prevent overfishing. Tidal currents. Tidal currents in the Atlantic Ocean influence the behavior and distribution of fish, affecting fishing strategies. Fish aggregating devices, FADs are used in some Atlantic fisheries to attract fish, concentrating them in specific areas for more efficient harvesting. Rising ocean acidity. Ocean acidification, a consequence of increased carbon dioxide absorption by seawater, can have implications for the growth and survival of marine species, including those targeted by fisheries in the Atlantic. These facts provide a glimpse into the diverse and dynamic world of fishing in the Atlantic Ocean, highlighting the ecological, economic, and cultural aspects of this important activity.